Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Soccer Podcast, Australia's #1 soccer talk show. My name's Shannon, and for this episode, I'm joined by Alex Smith. Alex, welcome to the Soccer Podcast.
Good to be here, man. Let's get into it.
Now, for this episode, everyone, we're going to be doing a debate about whether Cristiano Ronaldo is the better player over Lionel Messi. But Alex, let's start with your thoughts on this issue. It's one of the biggest debates in world football: Ronaldo or Messi.
Messi every day of the week for me. I don't even think it's a debate. I think it always has been. Ronaldo's a great player, but some of the things that Messi does, he just, in terms of footballing ability, there's nobody better. End of discussion.
Okay, but I can see that you're wearing Manchester United jersey there.
Yeah, absolutely. I've supported United all my life, and Ronaldo scored some great goals for us. But the mark of any decent human being is recognizing greatness, no matter what you might think about something else. So everybody who's played against him says he's the best player to ever walk this earth, and I'll be inclined to agree with them.
You see, I've got 4 reasons, Alex, why I think Cristiano Ronaldo is the best player in the world, and for that matter, the best player of all time to ever play the game. So obviously that would put him above Messi in my books. But the first reason is that, Cristiano Ronaldo, he's proven in the Premier League, contrary to Messi, which he is, and he's played his whole career at Barcelona in La Liga, which to my mind anyway is an inferior competition to the Premier League. I remember when Ronaldo came onto the scene at Manchester United as a young 17-year-old, given his debut obviously by Sir Alex Ferguson, and the impact that he had, and just the goals that he scored against world-class opposition defenders.
Yeah, I mean, I guess, La Liga, you still got 11 guys trying to stop one player, pretty much. I mean, Messi is Barcelona. There are no mugs in Spain. You still got, 10 defenders basically trying to stop one guy, and he still manages to score 50 goals a season. It's absolutely remarkable. And the Champions League. I mean, when he comes up against teams that are supposed to be the best in the world, he still shines. So I've never bought that debate about, him not playing in the Prem and not testing himself anywhere else, because he's got no reason to leave. Why would you? Loyalty is something that doesn't really happen these days in football, and I think that's one of the reasons I love him so much, is because he is loyal, he is humble, and he's been at one club for his whole career, and something about that really appeals to me in the world today of a year or two at this club and then going to the next club and all that sort of stuff. So but the whole Prem argument, he's still got 11 guys trying to stop him. I mean, Barcelona's got some good players, but they're all trying to stop him, and they still can't. So, that's I guess that's my counter argument to your Ronaldo argument.
I just think, obviously the Premier League, I think it's the best league in the world. And I know you say there's 11 players trying to, still have to stop Cristiano Ronaldo or even Messi for that matter when they played in La Liga. But I just feel like, when you're coming up against Virgil van Dijk, the centre back for Liverpool, for example, it's a lot bigger ask or a lot bigger test than coming against, one of the La Liga centre halves or any defender for that matter. But I just think there's that question surrounding, would Leo Messi be able to come to the Premier League and have those, goal scoring assists and goals against the English sides? Because we know in the Champions League, especially against Chelsea, for example, although not so recently, he did struggle to score against those English Premier League sides.
Yeah, I mean, I think he scored twice in the Champions League final against United, back when they were at their peak. Boateng from Bayern Munich was one of the best centre-backs, if not the best centre-back in the world at the time when he scored that famous goal and put him on his backside. So there is absolutely no doubt in my mind that if he played in the Prem, he would be just as good as he is in La Liga. The guy's footballing ability is just, you know, having played at a half decent level, you see some of the things he does, and you absolutely marvel at it. And to continue doing it for years upon years is it's just incredible. People know where he's going, and they still can't stop him. Ronaldo is a phenomenal player, but he doesn't have the footballing ability that Lionel Messi does. Simple as that.
I tend to agree with you. I think that Messi is a more natural player. He's got that more natural talent, whereas Ronaldo's had to really work hard for it. That's the difference, I think. And I think Messi's probably got better ball control, possibly, than Ronaldo. But my second argument, Alex, as to why I think Cristiano Ronaldo is the better player than Messi is, following on from my first argument, is that when you put the two fantastic players in their own right in the same league, which they were in La Liga when Messi was at Barca and Ronaldo obviously at Real Madrid. For example, in the Champions League, Ronaldo's statistics were all in terms of goals that he scored. I think last season he had 15 goals for Real Madrid compared to Messi, who didn't have nearly as much. Ronaldo's statistics in that competition is far more impressive than Messi.
Yeah, I mean, this is a debate that I've had with quite a few people in the modern era. Statistics to me don't really mean much. All that really matters at the end of the day is trophies. And they've won about the same amount of trophies, same amount of Champions League. I think Ronaldo's got one more. But I don't think there's any denying that Ronaldo had better players around him the past sort of 2-3 years. But if the debate's just pure footballing talent, who's the better player? It's Messi. Working hard and working on your game as much as Ronaldo does, will get you goals and get you to the top. It doesn't get you assists, which he doesn't get too many of, which is another reason I think that Messi is the better footballing player, because he brings his teammates into the game, whereas Ronaldo really couldn't care less about his teammates, which is another thing that draws me to him. If Suarez scores a goal, Messi goes off celebrating with him. Over the past few years for Madrid, if Modric or Cruz or someone like that scores, he's nowhere to be seen. So for me, that's another mark of just a tick in Messi's box. Football is a team game. It's not an individual game. It's 11v11. So to be able to be happy for your teammates and celebrate with your teammates, for me, is part and parcel of the game. And I think Messi ticks that box. I don't think anyone can deny that Messi is the better team player than Ronaldo is.
And we're having a great debate here, Alex, I must say. But I'll give you you mentioned trophies, you mentioned silverware. So on that note, I think that it's fitting that I bring up my third argument why Ronaldo is the better player for me, which is that he's won an international tournament, unlike Messi. So obviously, Cristiano Ronaldo, he won the European Championships, I think it was in 2016 with Portugal. And obviously, Messi has now lost 4 major international tournaments with Argentina. And I would say, Alex, that Argentina are a far superior side to Portugal. Ronaldo really had to carry Portugal over the line for that in that final against France. I remember when he came off injured and couldn't continue. He was on the sidelines, literally almost coaching his teammates to victory, and got the job done. But that's a big argument, I think, in Ronaldo's favour, and certainly something that aware of, that Messi, to be compared at least to Diego Maradona and the like, he had to win that international tournament or trophy, but he hasn't been able to do it. And to lose 4 major international tournaments some against Chile in the Copa America, for example. It doesn't make a good case for him. So that's my third argument why I think Ronaldo is the better player. But my fourth argument, and we'll see what you have to say about this. Obviously, you played the game professionally yourself. Is that I would say Ronaldo is a better athlete than Leo Messi. The modern game is very much about athleticism now. And I think that Ronaldo, he's been able to, obviously with his height, score goals with his head, which Messi can't do. And we all remember the bicycle kick that he scored, Ronaldo, against Juventus in the semi-finals of the Champions League. I think those are just some examples of his athleticism that Messi doesn't always show.
Okay, where do I start? Champions League final against United, Messi scored with his head. It's amazing how quickly people forget, what happened. I mean, the guy's 5'3" or however tall he is, and he scores in a Champions League final with his head. So I don't know what more he's got to do to kind of convince people that, he can score with his head, but he doesn't need to do it. He doesn't need to score bicycle kicks. There's no need for him to do any of that stuff. And in terms of athleticism, to me, athleticism is being able to ride a challenge, stay on your feet, get hit from the best that someone's got to give you, and stay on your feet and keep going and score a goal. Ronaldo gets touched, he goes down like he's just been shot, and that's not something that's indicative of a great footballer. That's I'm not saying it's cheating, but it's not. It's not something that you want to be proud of. Messi gets kicked, and he has been kicked his whole career, and he won't dive. So for me, athleticism is not, look at me, look at my abs, look at my muscles, and all this sort of stuff. That's not athleticism. But for me, athleticism is, being able to ride challenges and time things, and just be. It's not about looks for me. With Ronaldo, I mean that's what he is, and that's what he does. But I don't think he is. I don't think he's a better athlete than Messi. I think when you see Messi juggling a golf ball for 150 times, that to me that's athleticism. It's not take my shirt off and look at my 10 abs. I don't buy that as an argument either. So we seem to be way off on our comparisons. But
this is what makes for a great show, Alex. This is what makes the Soccer Podcast Australia's #1. I mean, can you imagine just to get on everything? We wouldn't have anything to talk about.
Very true. Very true.
So we have to bring it all to the attention of all the Soccer Podcast fans. But is there anything else that you'd like to say on this debate? Obviously, I think you've made your thoughts very clear. You think Messi is better than Ronaldo, and you mentioned last episode as well that you think he's the greatest of all time. Is there anything you'd like to add in that regard?
I mean, the thing that gets it over the line for me is I spoke about it earlier. Is just his humbleness and his ability to celebrate with teammates. It's just something about Ronaldo that I watch him, and when he was at United, he was quite humble, and he was quite and that comes down to Ferguson and the environment that he had, and he was quite he was in it for the team and all this stuff. But the past sort of 4 or 5 years, it just makes it all about him. And for me, as a footballer who's been part of a team, it just makes it tough to watch. Makes me cringe sometimes, actually. Suarez scores a goal and Messi celebrates just like he scored a goal. So for me, that's the mark of a great man and a great footballer.
Yeah.
So that's what swings it for me, really.
Yeah, and I've seen Messi, have penalties before where he's about to take him, I think, and he's even about to score, I don't know, his 300th or 400th or 500th, 500th goal, but for Barcelona, he turns around to his teammate and says, no, you have this one. So you're right, I agree with you in that he does share the love with his teammates. And, Ronaldo, he's kind of on his own mission. But I suppose that's what makes these players what they are. And, at the end of the day, they are two of the greats ever to play the game. And I think we just got to, maybe stop the argument and just enjoy them both, as so many people now are saying. But, Alex, it's been an absolute pleasure again. That brings us to the end of this debate today between Ronaldo and Messi. But everyone, if you enjoyed this episode, smash the thumbs up button. Don't forget to subscribe and follow us on Instagram. From the Soccer Podcast, it's goodbye for now.
See you guys.